Hey, we're back in the garage today. It's been a while because it's been cold. I live in Minnesota. It's always cold. Everything sucks. Everything's frozen. We don't have a heater in here except for like a little propane heater that does okay. So it's really hard to get stuff done, but today's warm enough to get some stuff done. And we're going to fire that heater up while we're working on the car. I'll just stuff the transmission and everything back under the car. I got that transmission sent out to Harman Performance Transmissions. I kind of got screwed on that deal, not from Harman Performance, from FTI really. When I purchased the transmission from FTI, it was a stage 3, and it was listed to have a hardened input shaft. It was rated up to 800 horsepower. It said in the description that it had a 34 element sprag, and it turned out none of that was true. The transmission, basically before I sent it to Harman, I mean, my motor makes 430 horsepower, so it's nothing impressive or super high to really hurt a transmission that's built. So 430 horsepower was too much for that transmission. The check ball was almost about to burst through the sandwich plate between the valve body. The drum was all sorts of messed up. It had a huge wear in it. Hey guys, Matt from the future here. Just keep in mind that all of this stuff that I just am about to talk about and show you, this transmission had less than 2,000 miles on it and was never overheated, like overheated. And I installed it per FTI's instructions, and it had, you know, a handful of passes, maybe 12, 15 passes on it. So just keep in mind when looking at all of this, this isn't a transmission with like 50,000 miles on it. And I'll throw some pictures from the transmission guy in there. The sprag was broken. The sprag is what really pissed me off, because they had it listed as a 34 element sprag, and it had a roller style, I don't know the correct terminology, I'm not a transmission guy, but it had an 8 element sprag in it. And an 8 element sprag is not good for nothing unless it's a stock engine. So that kind of sucked. I had to spend quite a bit of money to get this thing where it should have been. And then I built it a little bit, or I had it built a little bit more for future power, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. So, the input shaft was rusted too. The FTI, whoever assembled it, they put a rusted input shaft in it, and it torched one of the bushings, and yeah, cool. Anyway, so I got just some stuff I had done to the transmission. We could put a new forward rollerized hub in it. It's got a 3440 billet aluminum Pro Mod drum, and it's got a 36 element sprag in it. The reason I went with that is because for when I go turbo, I want to have a transmission that can really withhold some power. Plus, it should be, this drum and everything should hold up to street driving and higher temperatures in the transmission better, and it's all around just a better part than like a 4L80 drum. So he did some other stuff to it. We put a billet input shaft in it as well, gaskets, and then had a FTI Pro Brake installed in it as well. So it sucks, but it is what it is. It happens. You know, sometimes you get burned, sometimes you don't. It just is what it is. You just deal with it. You get stuff fixed, and keep moving on. I got a better transmission than whatever it was I was going to get paid I paid for before anyway. So anyway, let's get into it. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much, but let's do car stuff. Here's the transmission. I put a ATI overflow on it, FTI brake. He did some pretty good work, so stuff this thing back in the car. Hopefully get going, get that part done, and then wire it and shit. Transmission in, converter nuts and bolts for torqued. The bell housing bolts are in. Now all that's left is to, that's right, get the torque arm back in, put the drive shaft in, and get all that done. Helpful tip: you have a 3rd gen Camaro with a Ford 9-inch and quick performance. They're going to send you the torque arm adapter piece. I don't know what to call it. Make sure you clear the tunnel as much as you possibly can. You'll thank me later. All right, everything put back together, sort of torqued, tightened. The only thing left to do down here, transmission wise, is hook up the shifter linkage and swap the gate plate and plug the temp sensor in, but I want to wire that differently. Because it's got just so much slack right now, it just kind of flops around and it can get burnt up. Wire up the trans brake and then blow out cooler lines, and then we can just kind of restart assembling everything, starter, and then the top end of the motor, and then see if the trans brake works. Transmission builder said it does. He tested it, so that's promising news. It's just a barren wasteland of slow, not impressive engine. Isn't that right, Mike?
Faster than anything I own.
Yeah. I've got a bunch of new parts that I have, so I'm going to slowly start putting those on the car and get this thing back running and driving. The header's got to get sent out and have V-bands put on them. The cage isn't going to get done this year. But I also bought a trailer. That's for race week. So that's the plan. The plan is to go on race week 2.0 again. So we got some time to get all the bugs worked out of this, but I do want to make the Memorial weekend. So there's really not that much more to do to it. The most is going to be wiring, and I just want to clean that up because young car builder Matt wired like a fucking hack. So we got to fix that. But anyway, hope you got bored enough in this video. So, deuces.